Hey you guys, so today I'm going to be filming part 2 to my declutter video. If you guys didn't see the first one, you should definitely check it out. I'll leave it in the description box. I'll leave it in the description box below. Basically in that video, I just talk about things that I got rid of for more unique reasons. And today I'm going to be talking about some things that I kept and will never, ever get rid of ever. A lot of you guys have been asking me to do a video on my favorite products that have been discontinued. Why? I don't know. I think just because you're sick human beings. And you pleasure from my extreme pain. And this ended up being kind of like a merge of those videos because a lot of the things that I've been holding on to are because they're discontinued. And I will never let them die. All right, let's jump into it. I have thought about decluttering this so many times, but I cannot bring myself to do that. And it is the Makeup Forever Flash Palette. If you've been following me for a long time, I'm sure that you will know the reason behind this. Basically, this was one of my first ever YouTube videos. Please don't go look it up. I'm so embarrassed. I know you're going to anyways, just to spite me, you sons of bitches. But anyways, this was one of my first ever YouTube videos. I was talking about how to use this palette in so many different ways. Like you can mix foundation for it, contour, blush, brows, like literally anything. It's just a bunch of cream colors. And I had this product in my kit when I was a working makeup artist. And the reason I loved this guy so much when I was working on other people was because it has literally everything you need in a pinch. Instead of having to carry like 45,000 different lipsticks and like a bunch of different eyeliners and all this kind of stuff, like you could just mix whatever you needed from here. So I really did use this palette so much when I was working, and even when I first started in YouTube, because I really didn't have that much makeup. So for me, it was something where anytime I wanted to kind of do a certain look that was a little bit more creative and I didn't have the product I needed for it, I would pretty much just mix it out of this. I don't use it anymore because I have a more extensive makeup collection at this time, but I still just like, I just don't want to get rid of it because it just has like kind of that sentimental value to me. The next thing in my collection that I will never get rid of is the Christian Louboutin lipsticks. This is probably the most absurd purchase I've ever made in my life. This serves no value in my life. Wow, this fucking, oh my Lord. This packaging is broken. So these are $100 each, which is absolutely insane. The packaging is so gorgeous, but look at this. Can you guys see this tiny crack right there? Pissed. I don't use this product all the time by any means. It's more so just one of those things where I'm like, this is like a collector's item. It's so heavy. It's beautiful. The packaging is absolutely stunning. Like this to me, if you're like super into makeup, I feel like this would be such a cool like Christmas gift or something because it just feels so over the top luxurious. I do actually like the formulation in here. It's just something where I'm like, for $100, you can absolutely find something that is just as good, if not better, in less bougie ass packaging. These next ones are entirely packaging. This is the NARS Air Dem collection. So this packaging to me is just absolutely stunning. I think it is one of the more beautiful things I've ever witnessed in my life. And even the inside, when you open it up, the slip inside has these beautiful flowers all over it. I just think this is absolutely gorgeous. I didn't love this collection in terms of something I would wear, but I picked it up to decluttered it and immediately put it back down because I was just like, I could never. Like the packaging is just so stunning to me. It's just something that I find really inspiring and beautiful. So, should we dip into some stuff that's discontinued just to hurt my feelings? Okay, sure. So this is the Giorgio Armani Eyes to Kill Silk Eyeshadow. I have 2 of these. I have shade 5 and 15. Listen, real talk for just a second here. If you have these and you want to sell them to me, I want them. Okay, I'm being dead serious. Please, God, please. These are like the original version of the Tarte Chrome paint to me. They are absolutely beautiful. They don't look like much, but goddamn, like this product to me is just so stunning. Basically how I use this product is I put that powder all the way across my lid and then I will just use a fluffy brush to blend out the edges. This product applies really nice and like shimmery and kind of more of like a metallic finish on the lid, but when you blend it out, it doesn't look really shiny or glittery or anything like that. It just looks healthy. So I just find with this one product, you can create a lot of dimension. You don't end up needing to put like a matte color in your crease. You can literally just apply only that. So on the days where I'm like, I need to be ready in a pinch, but I still want to look kind of like glamorous and feel really pretty, I always use those Giorgio Armani Eyes to Kill. I just think they're absolutely beautiful, and they're one of my favorite products, and they were discontinued, so fuck me. Next we have the DiorShow Fusion Mono Eyeshadows. I only picked up one of these, which I'm really upset about. Again, if you have the color Meteor, I want it, and I'm dead serious. Okay, I'm serious about collecting my discontinued products, baby. This is the color Mirror. They are still available at certain Sephoras. Like, I found this one in Sephora, but they are being discontinued, so if you don't get them now, they're gonna be gone. This shadow has the most incredible velvety texture ever, and it is just, it looks like literally nothing. You guys are gonna be like, okay, great, good thing it's discontinued. It is a sheer shadow, but it is so beautiful. It just has the most incredible, like, finely milled kind of sparkle to it. It is an absolutely beautiful topper shadow. Whenever I do a look that I feel like needs a little bit more something, I put that over top, and it just adds the most incredible kind of like reflective dimension. It's just so, you know. All right, so this is the Kat Von D Metal Crush eyeshadow in Thunderstruck. Again, if you're an OG subscriber and you've been here for a while, you will know my obsession with this. So I picked up this shadow in stores because I just felt it and thought it had the most incredible, like, creamy, thick texture. God damn, it's so beautiful. And then when I looked at the swatch, it was the most beautiful, like, pink and gold shifting pigment. Like, it was just absolutely stunning. And I was like, holy fuck, I'm gonna put that on my face as a highlighter. So that's what I did. I started using it as a highlighter, and this eyeshadow was the #1 selling eyeshadow in Sephora for a little while. Just throwing it out there. Not saying that was us, but maybe it was us. You know, I don't know. Why did they discontinue it? God only knows. I have 3 of these in the packaging. I'm not going to take it out of the packaging because I'm preserving it, and they're very delicate. I haven't even used this as a highlight in so long, and to be honest, I don't use powder highlights that much anymore, but I don't care. I know what used to be between me and this, so I'm not letting that die. It's funny because every time I go to declutter, there's 2 drawers that I just don't even open because it literally is just like, oh, that's never happening. I'm never getting rid of any of those things. And that is my pigments drawer and my MAC lipstick drawer. So this is the Sugar Pill pigment in Lumi. This pigment is everything I ever want and more. It is such a beautiful way to add more to your look. I love all of the Sugar Pill pigments. I will never, ever, ever let them leave my sight. I have some discontinued ones from Sugar Pill as well. They have beautiful, really unique colors. They have tons of like neon ones. They have a few of these ones that are more kind of like a duochrome color. But Lumi has been a standby for me for years. I really like adding it to looks when I feel like I need to amp it up, and it's a really cool pigment because you can kind of put it over top of any color, and it really, really transforms the look and makes it look so much cooler and more unique, and it's just such a great pigment. And when it comes to my MAC lipsticks, oof. I started getting into makeup when I was in about like grade 8 and stuff like that, and I would use all my mom's old makeup. So my mom used to sell Avon and Alouette. You guys probably don't even know what Alouette is, but I had like one eyeshadow quad from Alouette that was like a really intense olive, a really like shimmery kind of navy black, and I think there was like a champagne color in it, and I would wear that eyeshadow palette almost every day. And I'm from a really small town, and at the time we didn't have a Sephora. We literally only had a MAC stand at the Bay. So I would spend every last dime I had on MAC makeup. I would go in, I would buy one lipstick at a time, or one eyeshadow at a time, or one brush, or whatever, like, because I could never buy more than that. And then for Christmas, I would always get like exclusively MAC gift cards. Like, I would get nothing else. I would just get MAC gift cards from everyone. And I always had like the time of my fucking life. I would go in and get so many products and be so excited. I went on to work at MAC. I went on to collaborate with MAC. And I think it's just funny because being in the industry and being a working makeup artist and seeing a lot of the behind the scenes, it actually made it so that I lost a lot of the kind of illusion of what makeup was for me at one time. Like, I really felt like all this makeup had so much value, and when I started learning more about it, I was like, oh, not really. Like, it's all really kind of cheaply made, and it's all made in the same factories. Like, I really felt like MAC came from MAC, and Too Faced came from Too Faced, and Urban Decay came from Urban Decay, and like, really, it's like everybody using the same manufacturers, the same people for packaging, all those kinds of things, which for some reason, for me, it kind of like took from it a little bit. It sounds so silly, but I feel like I used to look at the makeup industry and not think of it as a business at all. Like, I literally was just like, oh, this industry thrives and continues because of the passion for art and creativity and color. Like, for me, like, I really did look at makeup that way. I didn't see it as this kind of cash cow. And I think that seeing behind the scenes, I was like, oh, it's literally just business. The people that are running these companies don't even give a shit about makeup. They're mostly like white old men that have never even touched a makeup product in their life. But it's funny because I feel like MAC for some reason has always persevered in my mind as like, it's just MAC, you know? Like, I don't know, like I just still feel such a weird kind of emotional connection to MAC products. And I just know that like in a past life, I would have absolutely died to have the amount of MAC stuff that I have now. It sounds so silly, but it's just one of those things where I connect to it so much because a younger me would have killed to be in my position, so I can never see myself getting rid of them. I got rid of a lot of eyeshadow palettes in general, but I got rid of a lot of ones that had colors in them that I don't really use anymore. Just because for me, I mean, you guys see what I wear. I'm not doing a ton of colorful looks these days, you know? But I have 3 palettes that have colors in them that will forever exist in my makeup collection. And that is the first Sugar Pill Pro palette, the second Sugar Pill Pro palette, and the Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette. Sugar Pill to me just has kind of the perfect bright shadows. I talk about on my channel a lot, would I go dig that out of my collection to use? Because for me, that's what equates to a product that is memorable and a product that I can actually see myself like rummaging through everything else to use. There's something that when I'm doing a colorful look, I, in my mind, go, oh, that yellow from Sugar Pill. I don't think about anything else in my collection. I go for that yellow. So for me, it was really easy to declutter a lot of my other bright colored palettes because I just genuinely wasn't using them the way that I use Sugar Pill. Like these just stick out in my mind so much. So those are kind of like my bright colors. And then the reason that I love the Pastel Goth palette is because they have these kind of more muted versions of bright colors. And I think it's such a genius palette to pair with bright colors because sometimes I don't necessarily want to have to put a neutral color in my crease to go with my bright looks. I want to be able to put some color in my crease, and I feel like having these pastel tones is so nice because I'm able to make a colorful look a lot more soft looking, and it's not so like boom fucking rainbow on your eye because it's more muted and toned down. So I always end up reaching for this palette as well, and anytime I'm doing a colorful look that I don't want to pair with neutrals, I end up grabbing this guy. I decluttered a ton of my eyelashes. My eyelash drawer was getting out of control. I reached for literally one style of eyelash, and that is the Gina Lash from Esquito. This lash to me is just so perfect in every way. I love wearing this as a full lash right across the lid. I love cutting them in half and using it as a half lash. I like that it has those kind of spiky, longer lashes all the way throughout. I just think it's such a beautiful, flattering style, and I cannot get over it. Whenever I try to put on other lashes, I'm like, but no. If you're ever wondering what lashes I'm using in a video, 99% of the time it's this, or some horrifically misused version of what this used to be, but I've worn it so many times and put so much mascara and so much glue on it that now it's become basically a different lash. It's either a fresh set or a really, really disturbingly used set. A piece of my soul dies with everything that gets discontinued. This is Kat Von D Wish. This is one of my earlier heartbreaks. So this is a blush from Kat Von D. I think it is so beautiful. It looks so light, but it goes on so beautifully. I will never understand why brands come out with these blushes that are like hot pink and bright fuchsia and all this, because like nobody's wearing blush like that. And for me, I always try to look for blushes that are more neutral colored and they're not going to be this really intense wash of color that I have to spend a ton of time blending out, or I have to be picking it up really gingerly on my brush. Like I just want something that I can swipe on without thinking about. I don't have to worry about spending all this time blending it out, trying to make the color look more natural. Like to me, oh, I just think it's such a beautiful blush. Discontinued, God knows why again. I think Kat Von D has a personal vendetta against me. I don't know what else to think. Kat, I don't know what I ever did to you. Anyways, Sweet Warm Soul. This is a blush from MAC called Warm Soul. So hold on a second, because I feel like some of you are about to jump in my comments and be like, Sam, it's not discontinued. Listen, this blush was not discontinued, you're right, but it was reformulated. Although MAC themselves verified to me that it was not reformulated, but they're liars. I'm so sorry, MAC. I just have to call it like I see it. It has kind of this like bronzy, really warm color to it, and it has the most incredible sheen. I went through probably 5 of these blushes in my lifetime, and this I still have. This is the original formula that I use so sparingly. And then one day I was with my friend who also used to always use this blush, and she went to go pick up one because she was out of it, and it was in new packaging. And I was like, oh, they changed the packaging, that's weird. And then we swatched it, and I was like, that's not my warm soul. Is that your warm soul? No, I don't think so. It is. I don't know whose warm soul this is, but it's certainly not fucking ours. Certainly not the collective warm soul. So my friend ended up getting it anyways and trying it, and it was indeed so different. And I tried it, and it was so different. It just, the color is so off now, and there's like really chunky textured glitter in it, whereas like this was the most beautiful, like tiny little baby like pearl pigments. It was just so perfect. And now it has this kind of like chunky weird glitter, and it sucks. So when I was doing my collaboration with MAC last year, we were in their lab, and I, at my earliest convenience, just waltzed my way into where the little scientists were sitting, and I was like, listen guys, we have to chat about warm soul. Yeah, we gotta have a sit down here. And so we did. We sat down, we had a little chit chat, and I was like, guys, I don't know who fucked up. I don't know who fucked up, but warm soul's different, and it sucks, and I hate it so much. When are we gonna change it back? I can lead the way. I have the sample at home still. I can bring it in. We can get this all figured out. Let's like solve this together. And they were like, was it changed? Did you guys remember? I was like, oh, it was changed. Trust me, you don't have to. It was changed. Don't worry. I know for sure. I know for a goddamn fact it was changed. And they were like, okay, yeah, we'll look into that. We'll see if it was. And I was like, okay. And then they ended up getting back to me, and they said that it was never changed. But you can't Mandela affect me, baby. Listen, Mac, I know that shit was changed. Anyways, I'm holding onto this final one, and I don't have any extras of the original formula. I don't know what will happen on the day that I run out of this, but I just don't even want to see that day. On the topic of things that were horrifically reformulated without my consent, we have the YSL Touche Éclat. So this guy was reformulated a little while ago. This was one of like, it was one of the first foundations I really, really fell in love with. I feel like I've been on this constant journey for foundations that I enjoy, just because I feel like none of them made my skin how I wanted it to look. But I remember the first time I ever tried this guy, I put it on and I went and looked in the mirror, and I was like, holy shit, like, is that my skin? Like, I honestly was so taken aback by my own beauty. So they reformulated it, and I didn't mind the reformulation, but it just wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be anymore. So I do still have one of the old bottles, but it's like so not my color at all. Maybe one day I will go on like a 2-month-long vacation in the sunshine and I will become this color. But either way, I don't care. I'm going to hold on to it forever. Listen, I love Hourglass so much. So this packaging is, first of all, beautiful. And secondly, the whole idea behind it is that you pop off the top, and then it's kind of like a twist up lipstick. I feel like I'm holding one of those like long Audrey Hepburn cigarettes when I hold this. I just think it's like such gorgeous, classy packaging. And the whole idea is that you can pop this guy out and put in a different cartridge with a different colored lipstick, so that you only have to buy this outer packaging once, and you can just keep buying new little cartridges to put in there and swap out your lipstick and whatever. The issue for me is this. When I first saw this product, I was like, brilliant, because Hourglass is really expensive for some people. So I was like, oh, this is brilliant. They can buy the pretty little Hourglass packaging and then buy the cartridges for super cheap. Here's the issue. This is $42 with the lipstick inside. The cartridge, this shitty plastic cartridge with 0.03 ounces or 0.9 grams, which is literally nothing, this is $28. This is so little product for such an exorbitantly high price point. I pictured this being like, okay, maybe like $30 to $40 for this with a lipstick inside with a gorgeous packaging, and then maybe like, I don't know, $12 or $16 or something like that for the little cartridge. Charging $28 for this to me is just insane. So I never really featured this on my channel as far as I remember, because I was like, that's just such a ripoff and it's just such a shitty deal. I kept this because I think it's beautiful and I want to live out my Audrey Hepburn dreams. It will be buried with me and my Fenty Body Lava. Okay, so with my lip products, I had a ton of things that I realized I wasn't using. So I first got rid of all the formulas that I knew for a fact, like I never wear this, I don't like it. If it was like a liquid lipstick that I just knew I never wore, I got rid of the formulas I didn't like, first and foremost. And then with the formulas that I did like, or the products that I was more attached to for whatever reason, I went through and decluttered those guys based on colors. So colors that I was actually gonna wear, or colors that maybe I wasn't as likely to wear, but they were really, really unique and I felt like I didn't have them anywhere else. There's a couple collections that I did not touch at all because I just love the formula that much. And two of those collections were the NARS Velvet Lip Glides and the Lancome L'Absolu Lacquer. So the NARS Velvet Lip Glides to me are just such a unique, gorgeous formula. They go on sort of like a really creamy, like lip gloss almost, or a lip cream. And then they sort of dry down, but not in a way where they're really super long wearing, just in a way where they're more so like a little bit more kind of like a satin finish. And I just found that they wore really well on the lips. They didn't get patchy or bleed or anything like that. They just look so beautiful and they make your lips look really plush and soft. So I did not touch that collection at all. I kept all of the colors. And then the Lancome L'Absolu Lacquers, that's what I'm wearing on my lips today. I'm wearing this one, shade 515. These are so beautiful. They go on kind of like a sheer gloss, but the staying power on these is absolutely insane. They're so comfortable to wear. Like I don't find myself irritated by wearing them or eating with them or talking with them. Like I just think it's such a comfortable, beautiful formula. But I just found that like, honestly, I never wear colored lipsticks, lip glosses, anything like that out of the house. I pretty much only keep it at nudes, or if I am gonna wear something with like a little bit of color, it's like the lightest pink and the most sheer formula ever. But I've actually worn this one out of the house multiple times, which is like, that's crazy for me. So this was another collection that I did not touch at all. I kept every single color in this whole collection because it's just so beautiful. All right, you guys, so that's a little peek into what I kept. I tried to pick things that were a little bit more uncommon, things that you maybe haven't seen me talk about as often on my channel. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something cool today. Let me know what you'd like to see next in the comments below and I will get back to you. All right, you guys, peace out.